Same things make us laugh, make us cry. Like it says in the book, we are blessed and cursed. CJ, the hood no longer respects you. It's as dead as your mother. Okay, I made the last one up. Big Smoke gave it away when we first met him. He made us laugh, he made us cry. But what also made me cry is the difficulty of this game. Let's talk about it. How are you guys doing? Not good? Just keep in mind someday somebody will do your sister. Make sure you do the same. Anyway, you must have seen this meme before. That's the wrong one. This one.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
This voice line is the part of third Big Smoke mission in GTA San Andreas, wrong side of the tracks, infamous for its difficulty. The reason why this became a meme is because most people fail this mission multiple times, and every time they fail, they hear this voice line. And they hear it so many times that it literally gets printed in their brain. As a kid, I used to just type Rocket Man and kill them and never understood why people find this mission difficult. But then I found out that people aren't using cheats because they are on PS2 or whatever reason, and I felt a bit left out.
Hello?
Like that one shit stain that always leaves behind and you need to piss on it so it can join the rest. So recently I played it again without cheats, and I'm not saying this ironically, but this is one of the most difficult games I have ever played. There are a lot of people saying,
"Oh, this game wasn't hard, we were just kids."
Shut up, bitch!
Just because we were kids doesn't mean everything was easy. Things were hard back then. If you don't believe me, ask my uncle. He was always hard as shit. I'm not crying that this game is too difficult to beat. I'm just saying it's one of the difficult ones. The game starts off pretty easy. Big Smoke, Rider, tagging up turf, cleaning the hood, drive through, nines and AKs, and Sweet's girl. All these missions aren't worth even talking about, in terms of difficulty of course. The game begins to demonstrate its difficulty in the mission Home Invasion. During this mission, you have to steal guns from an average American citizen
Business, I'm gonna give you the whole load today.
without waking him up. The problem is, while invading, the game doesn't tell you how to walk. It tells you how to crouch, but you can't crouch while holding crates. And if you hold W while holding a crate,
Stephen, call me, bastard!
Grandpa's handgun might be old, but it's still up and running. Yeah, you see, the game has 3 walking modes. The running, which is default, the sprint,
Shut the fuck up!
and the normal walk. Yes, you can slow walk in this game. I played this game for years and I didn't know that. The way I do this mission is by spamming W like an average Twitch chat. And if you are like me, why don't you kill yourself? You will fail until you figure out how to walk, or that you can spam W and it won't make any noise. But there is another way of doing this mission. You can actually kill the guy. Whoever did this mission by killing the guy is a fucking deity in my eyes. The thought of killing the guy might have crossed your mind, but the fear of failing over and over keeps you from trying new things. This game teaches you more about philosophy than any YouTube philosopher ever. It also teaches you about murder, burglary, making, selling and consuming drugs, assault, harassment, respecting women,
My fault.
Trust me, I don't give a shit.
and possibly every crime ever committed. But hey, at least now you know all the options you have when you run out of money. Another Rider mission that people struggle with is robbing Uncle Sam. More like rubbing Uncle Sam, because it isn't hard. I don't think it's hard, it's just tedious. You just have to be patient. Have you ever wondered who the hell is Uncle Sam? Sam in this mission stands for San Andreas military, but Uncle Sam is also the personification of US government. It was used to recruit soldiers, and it's also a dead meme now. The next difficult mission is this one. The next difficult mission is Caesar Villalpando. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but holy shit. The game goes from treating you, a man, like a child, to treating a child like a man. When I was a child, this mission haunted me for months. I was thinking about it all the time. I even forgot to get out of the bus because I was so within the thoughts of Twitch. Everybody thought I had some kind of autism, all because of this mission. And it's not only me, so many other people struggle with this mission. There are dedicated tutorials, Reddit posts, GTA forums to help with this mission. It seems pretty easy. All you have to do is raise up your sister.
That shit was alright.
Caesar even says it.
Holmes, you're acting like she's your woman, eh? She's with me, cabron.
All you have to do is press the shown buttons when it reaches the circle, and depending on your timing, the game tells you how you are doing. If you try to sync your input to the music, you will not get that sweet perfect text on your screen. The music is slightly off-timed. The key is to press the button when the end of the arrow touches the end of the circle. This reminded me of when my uncle's arrow touched my circle. Also, if you are on keyboard, you can reconfigure your controls from numpad to arrow keys. It makes it a lot easier. When I replayed this mission a few days ago, I had no problems. So what happened back then? You see, another problem with this mission is actually related to your hardware. Now, I don't know how PS2 handled this game, but in my older PC, the game was running slower than normal. Kinda like the cheat a nose on glass. Games today run at lower FPS if your PC can't handle it, or they just don't run at all. But some older games actually slows down so that your shitty PC can keep up with it. And my PC was like my asshole. It couldn't hold shit like most people. Now you might be thinking, how is it even possible to get a hardware that can't keep up with the GTA San Andreas even back in 2010s? This video on YouTube about fixing lag in GTA San Andreas OG version, not the definitive, is from 2022 and it has more than 120k views. This shows that people are still playing this game on their grandpa's PC while their grandpas are playing with them. Also, why is bro using notepad to communicate? Someone tell him about text-to-speech.
Hello, guys. Today I will kiss your sister.
Or AI or something. What is this ancient alien-ass behavior? Anyway, shouldn't it make it easier because the game is running slower, right? Wrong. When your game is running like this, there is probably a delay in your input like I had, and my 13-year-old ass couldn't figure it out. And I gave up on this mission until one of my friends completed it for me and told me how garbage my PC is. I was stuck in this mission longer than any stepsister and washing machine. The next mission is every new player's nightmare, the wrong side of the tracks. The name could be a reference to Big Smoke's corruption against Grove. At the beginning of the mission, we see Officer Tenpenny and Pulaski coming out of the garage, and Big Smoke was also there. He is also living in the Bala territory, working with them, dealing drugs and bribing cops, hence he is on the wrong side of the tracks. Or maybe I'm onto absolutely nothing. To be honest, I hit the back of my head pretty hard when I was a kid. Now onto the actual mission. My question is, why do these Vagos have so much HP? I think they have more HP than gacha players have affection for children. Now all we have to do is follow the damn train. But keeping up with the train is not as easy as it sounds. The mission purposely puts obstacles to make it harder. Most people don't know that leaning forward will give you more speed because this mission is still early in the game. Ironically enough, if you stay too close to the train, Big Smoke won't be able to shoot Vagos, which makes the name of the mission wrong side of the tracks even more fitting. You have to maintain some distance from the train and try targeting one guy at a time. And despite knowing all of this, I was barely managed to complete the mission. Obviously, there are other ways to do it. You can get ahead of the train, climb the bridge, do the bridge incidents
What the fuck?
before you get hit by another bridge.
Jeez, oh my god, what the fuck?
Other than that, there is not much to it. I don't think this mission is the hardest in the game, but because most gamers quit gaming before they hit the G spot, the gaming spot, they don't know that there are harder missions ahead. Life's a beach, which I totally agree with. And if your life isn't a bitch, you are. I mean, it will be after playing this mission. I like how CJ shuts him up as soon as he starts rapping.
With a gun in your face. Yeah, man. Like, shut the fuck up. Maybe I need to do this on my own.
In this mission, we have to steal a sound system for OG Lok. But before stealing the music system, you have to dance. And it's the same fucking shit as the Caesar Villalpando mission. The only difference is it's harder. If that mission was painful to you, then this mission will feel like accidentally sitting on your ball sack. What in the Friday night fucking is this? I mean, you will get used to it. I'm talking about sitting on the ball, not this. What I found funny is how NPCs have these mood swings. If you get one input right between the wrong ones, they'll go like, You fucking dork. Was your mother rammed by a horse because you move like one? You move like a paralyzed Michael Jackson having a seizure. 2. Nice moves, man. I remember calling the same guy to do this mission. I can do it now, but my hatred for this mission is same as Chinese people finding out the femboy they love is actually a real woman. Before jumping on to the next mission, I want to thank you people for all the comments in the last video. It's such a cliche sentence, but I appreciate that some people find my content funny. Like this guy says I should be a stand-up comedian. So here's a joke. Why didn't Deshu become a stand-up comedian? Because he took a stand up his ass. Now after this mission, the game goes back to normal difficulty for a while until you reach San Fierro and start doing missions for Zero or Z. Now to be fair, Z's missions are optional. Get it? These missions. Z's missions. But since they are the part of the game, I am including them. Zero is that one average nerd character who plays Genshin Impact and his rival is Berkeley.
Oh, Berkeley. Yes. Who the fuck?
A faceless Wuthering Waves fanboy, and they hate each other so much that they use drones with machine guns to sabotage their businesses. And since Wuthering Waves players excel in combat, he defeated Zero and gave him a wedgie and hung him in his closet. To be honest, Genshin players will enjoy this type of treatment because it's the same experience as going through all those soulless quests where you don't even have a voiceover. Now onto the actual mission. We have to kill 5 delivery guys who are constantly moving around the map with an RC plane and come back and successfully land it. 2 of them are in a bike and 3 of them are inside vans, making them harder to kill. The problem is the gun on the plane can't be moved. Or should I say the gun moves as it pleases. It has some kind of auto aim and it targets everything but the guy you're supposed to kill. It's like those goblin ass YouTube tutorials where they go through every useless thing before getting to the main point. Additionally, there is no crosshair, so you don't even know where the bullets are going. The good thing is plane has unlimited bullets, so you can keep holding the fire button. Someone's grandma might die in Brazil, but who cares, old hag anyway. It's also more durable than real planes, so it can take some hits. Also, the fuel is plenty. People struggle in this mission because there are too many controls. And up until this mission, the game never gave you a plane to fly. But that is if you are only doing missions. But let's be honest, people install hot coffee mode before they even make it out of the Los Santos. This mission is like randomly starting a countdown from 10 on a plane. It's hard to do only because you have never done it before. So try it and get better at the game. The next mission is also from Zero, and it has every hard thing that last mission was missing. Instead of a plane, you have a helicopter now, and with that you have to help Zero's bandit reach inside Berkeley's base within the time limit of 8 minutes. Additionally, bandit also has a health bar. Why does it have a health bar? Because there are RC tanks waiting with their cannon to blow you, and you have to return the favor by blowing them. But you aren't the only one with the chopper. Berkeley also has one. He is constantly sabotaging you by dropping barrels on your way, and some of the barrels are already blocking you from going inside Berkeley's base. You can try blowing Berkeley directly, but he is moving a lot. I did manage to blow him, but he didn't respawn. I thought we were trading blows. Also, try not to go too low because you might end up blowing yourself. Thankfully, you have multiple choppers, so you can blow yourself couple of times before actually failing. Also, there are holes and you have to drop a plank to cross them. And if you manage to do all this, you can finally be inside Berkeley's base. Again, the chopper is hard to control. You have to get used to it, and prior to this mission we never were given any chopper, so it's likely you will fail this mission couple of times. On the good note though, if you retry this mission multiple times, you can come up with the new strategies like I did. The time in this mission is crucial. You have to do a lot of back and forth for blowing. So what you can do is ignore Zero, start by blowing tanks, and on your way back you can move the barrels. If you do this, you don't have to worry about health, and then finally you can start bridging. The first time I completed this, I had only 25 seconds to spare, but I improved it by this much.
Why so serious?
This is the type of mission you will remember at the final moments of your life, and any will you have to live will die, and you will finally be happy to shut down. As I said before, these missions are hard because you haven't done anything like them before, and this is the problem throughout the game. Like for example, to do the mission Ambitious Assault, you have to have your lung capacity stat above a certain level. I don't know how much exactly, so you end up executing an average BTech student's backup plan, which is to shut yourself down if you don't get a job. Usually the default option is a rope and a ceiling fan, but here you have to drown yourself until your lung capacity increases. Honestly, this should be the default option. Water and bucket is available everywhere. Plus, if you fail, at least you will have better lung capacity. Now the game again goes into normal difficulty mode. Nothing special happens unless you decide to do the driving school missions. Then things will be special, especially agonizing. But let's save these for later because everyone skips these missions. Now we arrive at the desert and we meet Torino, the same guy we were sure we killed by blowing him in his helicopter. And he is going to return the favor by giving some of the most annoying, painful, ball-busting, testicle-twisting missions in the game. Ironically enough, the first 4 missions he gives are one of the easiest in the game. Almost like giving a child candy before dumping that little shit into one of these. Oh man, I will get one of these one day. So make sure to hit the like button and start learning how to fly. Again, it's a plane mission. I'm convinced that flying a real plane with a control stick is easier than flying planes with mouse and keyboard. Just talking about it feels stupid because all you have to do is fly through a few holes. Not the holes I was expecting to see in my 20s, but that's okay, I guess. There are a few of these, but the last one is the hardest. You have to take off, fly through a lot of holes, which will take you back where you started and successfully land it. The holes themselves are no problem. They are pretty big. Probably had a lot of years in college. But they are placed in a circular pattern, and controlling planes this accurately is the tricky part. If you use the back rudder to change the direction of the plane, it's too slow. Instead, you have to rotate the plane, then lean backwards and use the back rudder to make it stable. But remember, you only have 2 hands. And if you have one, how do you hold phone while masturbating? So I recommend assigning the leaning forward and backward controls to your mouse button 4 and 5. Or you can just use the mouse sensor to control plane. But then if you look down, the plane will look down too. Man, I don't know, it looks easy. It becomes easy as you do it repeatedly. I suppose going through holes is just hard for the first time, but what do I know about it? After you are done with the plane, they give you a helicopter, and now you have to blow 3 stationary trucks and then 2 moving cars. Again, the fucking problem is to move the fucking gun on the fucking chopper, you have to move the whole fucking chopper. And this time there is neither auto target nor lock on for the missiles. So all you can do is spray and pray. My initial score was 84% and I managed to lower it down by 34%. I got better with the plane missions, but in this one the more I do it, the worse it gets. Kinda like assholes. Moving on, the rest of the plane missions are easy. Stunt planes are so much better to control. And landing on the circle is not hard either. I'm using the silent patch mod that's supposed to fix the game. I think that's why CJ was tweaking here.
Definitely passed out by now.
Or it could be the frame limiter. Finally, the plane missions are over. You can take a deep breath, inhale from the nose, exhale from the mouth. Oh, what is that? Another plane mission. Did you really think the game will name a mission learning how to fly and then there won't be any? Behold, NOE. No one else touches me like my uncle did. Everything you have learned so far is to prepare you for the next few upcoming missions. You have to deliver something to Torino's guys and he tells you to stay low. There is a timer and a visibility bar, and the reason for that is you can't go too high or else the US government will send Hydras to neutralize your ass. And when he said stay low, he meant no higher than 10 feet. Did I mention you are literally beside Area 69? They blow anything that moves. To make it worse, he sends you to the worst possible location to fly planes, the woods. So if you go too high, the Hydras will blow your ass. If you go too low, which you have to, the woods will get you. Last time something like this happened to me, I was at the sleepover with the boys. And this plane, it's so fragile. Usually it will immediately blow up even if you collide with a mosquito. But let's say you survived, it's still guaranteed death because it becomes impossible to control. This mission would be 10 times easier if only we were given stunt plane. It was perfect for this one. And why do you have to always come back and land the plane? It's not like they are expensive or anything. There are 3 more missions in the desert, but they aren't anything special. Black Project could be hard, but they give you option to be sneaky or you can just run it down. I should have mentioned this earlier, but people who played this game with mouse and keyboard find all the plane missions difficult, including me. And people who played it with a controller find missions difficult where you have to aim. Like some of them are saying that they struggle with air raid. And air raid with mouse and keyboard is like silently farting and repositioning at the gym. It's that easy.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it!
Now we arrive at Las Venturas and we are working with Woozy again. He runs a casino and to gamble people need to buy these chips. But some people are trying to scam a scammer by using fake chips. And in the mission, you have had your chips in it, bro. You have to destroy the factory where these chips are coming from. This mission is more confusing than it is hard. The game tells you the main entrance is being watched. Try getting in unnoticed. Now this sounds like you have to be sneaky, right? Also, there is this red container dangling. So I thought there must be another way to get inside. Maybe from the rooftop. But there is no other way to get in other than the main entrance. And when you go from the main entrance, this cutscene will play where you are just walking in, which feels like you did something wrong. But turns out you have to just walk in. I used my brain for no reason. But this isn't the reason why I included this mission. I included this because of this guy. And because I wanted to include something other than plane missions. The first time I played this mission, he vaporized my ass from that distance with a shotgun. Initially, I thought it's because of the frame limiter being turned off. For example, here is the comparison between frame limiter turned off and on while using a spray can. In both cases, I use 500 ammo and you can clearly see the difference in the fire rate. But this doesn't affect shotguns. Then I thought it could be the weapon skill level. Both NPCs and player can have high weapon skills in this game. But turns out this shotgun is just broken even at weapon skill level 0. It has a big magazine, insane range, minigun like fire rate, and it's impossible to miss. My 2 biggest problems in life right now are birds and children. Thankfully, a shotgun like this can get rid of both. I think last time this NPC managed to get a headshot on me because I remember having full health and half armor and a millisecond later I was dead. Cop wheels. Even though this is a story mission, it is optional. You and the gang are plotting something I can't be bothered to explain. All you need to know is that you need some police bikes. I don't know if you know, but this game is based on America. I know it's hard to tell. So you got America.
You should always keep those on.
Thanks, I hear you.
Police, and a black protagonist. You see why this mission could be pain in the ass. Anyway, 4 bikes spread across the map and you have to deliver them to a moving truck within 12 minutes. I'm not sure, but I think the truck doesn't spawn close to you. It is just following a highway route. So in the worst case scenario, every time you choose a bike, it is the farthest away from the truck, which is still unlikely to happen. The hard part is, of course, stealing and getting away from the cops. And sometimes you even have to kill them, which will result in 2, 3 or even 4-star wanted level. I was doing pretty good until this happened. The good thing is, since you are roaming around the city, you might stumble upon these stars, which can lower your wanted level. Now, if this game was set in India, all you had to do was write an essay. Some money would be deducted from your bank account and you could get away with almost anything. Free fall. This mission is unlike any other mission in this video. It's because, trust me, you never saw this coming. It's a plane mission. I'm so burned out by talking about planes, but I'm proud of myself that I haven't made a single 9/11 joke until now. If the towers were twins, why did they collapse into each other? Have you ever thought about that? This is the most Bollywood mission ever. Steal a shitty plane, take off, find the incoming plane, jump from your plane On to the incoming one. Knock the door.
Open up!
If no one answers, open it yourself and kill everyone inside. And then land that plane. Of course, you don't have to actually jump from the plane. You have to go through the hole attached to it. But it is so hard to do because you don't know how high the plane is. It is hard to even spot the plane, let alone pass through it. And if you miss, it's impossible to catch up to it because you are driving the slowest plane in the game. The way I do it is as soon as I spot the plane, I do a complete 180. And instead of me going through their hole, I let them go through my hole. If you manage to do this, the rest is easy. All you have to do is kill everyone inside and then land the plane. A home in the hills. We are back in Los Santos to retrieve Mad Dog's mansion from Vagos. For someone like me, unemployed and unplanned, this mission was not that hard, but I can see people struggling because there is a lot of shooting involved. If you check every room, you can easily get more health and armor. Also, if you manage to catch up to the Big Papa, he is invincible inside the crib. You can't kill him till he leaves the mansion. Once he leaves, he will try to get away in a car. Only then you will be able to kill him. For me, landing was the hardest part of this mission. Vertical bird. And I summoned Pot of Crete to draw one additional plane mission from my app. I promise this is the last one. I'm not enjoying this. Okay, this was a bad idea. Also, this is the last mission from Mike Torino and the hardest one so far. We have to steal a jet from a ship. You can be sneaky or you can be American. If you get spotted, the mechanics will run for the alarm, which will alert all the soldiers. There are a couple of jets on the ship, but I find this one is easiest to steal. If you are flying jet for the first time, you are cooked. Pressing W will only ascend the jet, it will not go forward. You see these exhausts? These supposed to be facing backwards. To do that, you need to hold 8 on your numpad. I completely forgot about it and failed a couple of times. And after realizing I failed anyways because of these missiles. If your plane gets damaged, just retry the mission because once it's damaged, it is impossible to control. So how are you supposed to steal a jet when there are active missiles always logged onto you? They aren't supposed to be active, dumbass. You see this yellow box on the minimap? Yeah, I thought this was another jet that you can steal, but it's where you turn off the missiles. Yay, you did it! But it's not over. Now you have to blow 3 boats. I would have called it foursome, but there are also 3 jets trying to blow you from behind. So it's more like wholesome. There is auto lock feature on the jet, which should make a stationary target easy, right? No. It doesn't work properly, especially when you are flying this fast. Even if you manage to lock on, the missiles have short range and you can't slow down because of the 3 jets behind you. Somehow I managed to blow all 3 of them while avoiding the jets by shooting light at them, and even successfully landed the plane. It took every last bit of my sanity. Then I found out you also need to blow the jets. If only I knew, I would have fought jets first, which would have made blowing boats so much easier because then you can just stay still. Anyways, blowing jets was a lot easier than blowing boats because they are at the same height as well as speed as you, so they are more stationary than a stationary target. This whole thing was one mission. Driving school. There are 4 schools in GTA San Andreas: boat, bike, planes and cars. Among them, the car school takes the throne for grinding my gears the most. I thought bike school would be exhausting because you need to balance it, you need to dodge the potholes while wind hits your face, but for some reason it's really easy. Car school, on the other hand, has touched me in so many ways you can't even imagine. Depending on your frame rate, it's either hard or just downright impossible. Again, you need to turn on the frame limiter. The game was meant to be played at 30 FPS. There is a lot of drifting in this mission, which is very satisfying when you pull it off. Bumping into cones will give you damage penalty, and stopping the car counts as completed attempt. It doesn't matter where you stop it. And lastly, a minimum of 70% is required to pass the exam. I won't go over every single challenge, but these are the ones that had me shift my gear. Pop and control. Drifting a car with a flat tire without touching any of the cones. Wheelie weave. Side wheelies with a car. This one took me a lot of tries to get it right. Stopping exactly at the red circle is harder than doing the wheelie itself. You either go too far or you don't even make it. Same thing can be said for life. An unprotected anal. Spin and go. After retrying for 10 solid minutes, I realized that the final heading is always below 10%. Turns out I was doing it wrong. You don't need to just drift the car backwards. You need to drift it, make it straight, and then park it. And if you stop at any point, you'll fail. You know shit is hard when the in-game tutorial couldn't do it without knocking any cones. Somehow I was managed to do it in my second try. I don't know why, but driving on reverse was harder than drifting and spinning. Alley-oop, more like alley-poop. Sideways 360. As far as I know, there isn't any way to control the car in the air. Your initial jump will decide whether you're gay or not. City slicking. The final mission of the driving school. Drive to the other side of the city and make it back in 2 minutes without damaging the car. It's not actually that hard. It says without damaging the car, but you can get away with minor damages. I think I'm mentioning this the third time, but anytime you stop, it will fail. I would say that overall driving school experience drove me nuts, but it's more like it drove over my nuts more than once. End of the line. The final and the longest mission of the game. And of course it won't be easy. First, steal this SWAT tank, run over them, run over ballers, run over ballers, run over snitches, run into the building, run over ballers, make them wet and run over ballers, and you will be able to enter floor 1. The building has 5 floors including the ground, and Big Smoke is at the top of 4, like an average Genshin player on Saturdays. From the outside it looks like it only has 4 floors, but it is one of those buildings from the Augie and the Cockroaches, where it looks like tiny house from outside, but inside is like Infinity Castle from Demon's Lay. As you climb the floors, the difficulty increases, but to make things a bit easier, in each floor you can find health or armor. Floor 1, security area. In this floor you will find Vagos, SWATs, and jump scaring ballers.
Hello, how are you?
All of them have low tier weapons and low weapon skills. None of them seems to be dual wielding or moving while shooting. Floor 2, drug lab. This floor has drug dealers, gang members from San Fierro, Rifa, cooks, and naked men. I think drugs aren't the only white stuff they cook here. This time some of them seem to be dual wielding pistols. Floor 3, Bala's launch. This floor can obliterate you if not being careful. Everyone in this floor is using good weapons like shotguns, and some of them are dual wielding SMGs. This floor has Balas, Vagos, Men in Black. They are either Mafia or Chinese, the Triads, and unconventional, independent and self-made women, until you pay them to be not so unconventional, independent and self-made, aka whore. In the mission reuniting the families, you can kiss any of these ladies to heal yourself.
You saved me. Have some sugar.
But for some reason here you can't. I don't know why I was so upset about it. And finally on the 4th floor we meet Big Smoke. He is just sitting there playing video games, and he says this.
Hey, CJ, I was wondering when you would show up.
But why? How do you expect a man to survive going through hundreds of men? I mean, you can expect a not so unconventional independent. He also says, I knew you was coming, but I don't give a shit, implying that he is not afraid. But as you can see, he is wearing a body armor. CJ also points it out.
You wearing body armor, Smoke? Man, I'm disappointed in you. I thought you was gangster.
While wearing the body armor himself. If you noticed, gang members from all the big gangs are fighting for Smoke. It shows how big Big Smoke really is. But CJ has also made some powerful allies, and he is taking over his spot. Smoke is not only afraid of CJ, but also envies how CJ has built himself from the ground, just like him.
Look at you, you got the whole world. I ain't got no regrets, man.
Smoke, you had...
I made it, CJ. I'm a success. I can't be touched. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the whole world.
Now on to the actual fight. He has a ton of health. All that fat from eating number 9s is working as an additional layer of armor. He just runs around occasionally shooting you, while NPCs spawn behind you and with no warning give you back shots. It's so hard to see them, not because they are black, but because halfway through the fight there is a power cut, and because they are black. I increased the brightness while editing so that you can see, but this is actually what it looks like. The fight is not that hard as long as you are in cover. Defeating him plays a cutscene where the power is back on, there is more sentimental shit, then he dies of death. Since this is the end of Big Smoke, here is something truly shocking about him. Big Smoke's order isn't that big. He is actually ordering on behalf of everyone. Up until his order, all of them are talking to Smoke and not the employee there.
Hey, I'll take a number 9, fat boy.
Give me a number 9 just like his. Let me get a number 6 with extra dip.
I'll have 2 number 9s a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip.
Yeah, your whole life was a lie. But then again, he ate Ryder's food too. So he ate most of it.
Say what, Smoke? All you managed to do was eat my damn food up.
Yeah, it was getting cold.
But it's not over yet. Tenpenny arrives, tells CJ to load the bag with cash, gets distracted,
Sweet! What?
misses the impossible to miss gun, starts a fire, and somehow when the cutscene ends, there is no light. This is one of the silliest, goofy mistake in the video game history. The whole fucking building is on fire, and fire produces light. And somehow it's darker than the mole between my legs. Wait a minute, that's not a mole. That's my pee. They give you a night vision that might help you in game but will blind you in real life. Now you have to escape the burning building under 7 minutes while every gang in the game is hunting you down. On your way back you will find extinguisher, which thankfully has unlimited use for this mission because there is a lot to extinguish. The timing is kinda tight. It's enough, but seeing 1 minute remaining on the clock made me panic and I started running it down and died. My recommendation before attempting this mission, max out your SMG skills, which will allow you to dual wield them and run and gun at the same time. This will save you a lot of hassle. Upon reaching the ground floor, CJ will exit the building, Bollywood style. Tenpenny tries to escape in a fire truck, and our sweet little sister finally does something. Now after this, there isn't much you can do other than following the fire truck and dodging molotovs until a cop starts kicking Sweet down. Then you have to save Sweet by catching him with your car, kill the cop, kill everyone following you before they blow your car, and eventually you will reach this overpass above Grove. Tenpenny will lose the control and crash on the barriers and fall down. He cries for help, but no one is around.
Hey! Over here!
Other than you and your friends. He mumbles that you will never understand everything he did, still believing all he did was good. You don't even get to kill him, he just dies of death. If you don't know, Tenpenny allowed Balas and Big Smoke to produce and sell drugs, provided them with information about other gangs, and let them get away with many crimes. And in return, he got paid. He justifies this by saying he is helping the city by turning gangs against each other. In the beginning and throughout the game, he repeats this voice line.
See you around like a donut, Carl. Yo, Carl, see you around.
And the game ends with this iconic line by CJ.
See you around, officer.
That is it. If you are wondering, I completed the game without cheats and then recorded it afterwards with cheats and mods, whatever it took to help me make this video. As you can see, end of the line, and here is the stats. There is no cheat use text. If I use a cheat now, it will show up here. Okay, see you all. Goodbye. What the?